How a humble farm boy became Henry Ford is an engrossing tale of entrepreneurship, creativity, and perseverance. Henry Ford, the Ford Motor Company's founder and an automotive pioneer, came from humble origins to become one of the most significant figures in American industrial history. Let's see how he grows. Henry Ford was among the first American industrialists. He is best recognized for his innovative contributions to the automobile industry, and his inventions are widely admired in the modern world today. Henry Ford was raised on a tiny farm near Dearborn, Michigan. It was here that Henry Ford was born on July 30th, 1863. He attended local district schools like did the rest of his town's youth and excelled in the majority of courses. As Henry grew older, he spent most of his free time tinkering and discovering how things worked, a pastime that helped him develop his thinking and logic skills. Yet as a farmer's son, he had little free time because he always had tasks to complete. By the age of 12, Henry was doing man's labor on the farm and had started fixing machinery for neighboring farmers. His father was happy when Henry mended a harness, reset a tool handle, or made furniture hinges. However, he was dissatisfied when his son repaired things for neighbors for free, as he frequently did. When Henry saw a steam engine running a farming machine, he dreamed of one day building a smaller engine to power a vehicle and accomplish the job that horses used to do. The story of how a Michigan farm boy became America's richest man is a classic, almost mythic one. But Henry Ford's outsized mind has never been brought to life as vividly as it is in this entertaining and well-researched biography. The real Henry Ford was riddled with contradictions. He sparked the consumer revolution by creating a car that was affordable to the masses, while also regretting the moral cost of materialism. He believed in paying his employees a living salary, yet he was completely opposed to union labor. He had a close and loving connection with his wife, yet he fathered a son with another lady. Despite his passionate anti-Semitism, he supported African-American workers during the Jim Crow era. His mother, Mary Ford, was born in Michigan as the youngest child of Belgian immigrants. Her parents died while she was young, and she was adopted by neighbors, the O'Hearns. Henry Ford's siblings included Margaret Ford, Jane Ford, William Ford, and Robert Ford. Ford completed 8th grade at Springwells Middle School, which had only one room. He never attended high school, but he did take a bookkeeping course at a commercial school. At the age of 12, his father gifted him a pocket watch. At the age of 15, Ford dismantled and reassembled friends' and neighbors' watches dozens of times, earning the reputation of a watch repairman. Ford traveled 4 miles to their Episcopal church every Sunday when she was 20 years old. Ford was heartbroken by his mother's death in 1876. His father wanted him to someday take over the family farm, but he detested farming. He went on to say, "I never had any particular love for the farm. It was the mother on the farm I loved." In 1879, Ford left home to work as an apprentice machinist in Detroit, first for James F. Flower and Bros, and later for the Detroit Dry Dock Company. In 1882, he returned to Dearborn to work on the family farm, where he became proficient with the Westinghouse portable steam engine. He was eventually hired by Westinghouse to service their steam engines. Ford also stated that he did not see the use of experimenting with electricity due to the expense of trolley wires, and that no storage battery was in sight of a weight that was practical. In 1885, Ford repaired an auto engine, and in 1887, he created a 4-cycle model with a 1-inch bore and 3-inch stroke. In 1890, Ford began development on a 2-cylinder engine. Ford stated, "In 1892, I finished my first motor car powered by a 2-cylinder 4-horsepower motor with a 2.5-inch bore and a 6-inch stroke, which was connected to a countershaft by a belt and then to the rear wheel by a chain. A clutch lever changed the belt to manage speeds of 10 or 20 miles per hour, which were increased by a throttle. Other features included 28-inch wire bicycle wheels with rubber tires, a foot brake, a 3-gallon gasoline tank, and subsequently, a water jacket to cool the cylinders." Ford went on to say that, "In the spring of 1893, the machine was running to my partial satisfaction and giving an opportunity further to test out the design and material on the road." Between 1895 and 1896, Ford drove that machine around 1,000 miles. In 1896, he began working on a second car and finally built 3 of them in his home workshop. In 1891, Ford started working as an engineer with the Edison Illuminating Company in Detroit. After being promoted to chief engineer in 1893, he had ample time and money to focus on his gasoline engine research. These experiments culminated in 1896 when he completed a self-propelled vehicle known as the Ford Quadricycle. On June 4th, he gave it a test drive. Following several test drives, Ford explored ways to improve the quadricycle. In 1896, Ford also attended an Edison management meeting when he met Thomas Edison. Edison approved of Ford's car experiments. Ford was encouraged by Edison to design and build a second car, which he completed in 1898. On August 5, 1899, Ford resigned from the Edison Company and created the Detroit Automobile Company with the financial backing of Detroit lumber mogul William H. Murphy. However, the autos produced were of worse quality and more expensive than Ford desired. Ultimately, the company was unsuccessful and was dissolved in January 1901. In October 1901, Ford collaborated with C. Harold Wills to develop, build, and race a 26-horsepower vehicle. With this achievement, Murphy and other owners in the Detroit Automobile Company established the Henry Ford Company on November 30, 1901, with Ford serving as chief engineer. Murphy hired Henry M. Leland as a consultant in 1902, and Ford responded by leaving the firm that bore his name. Ford collaborated with former racing cyclist Tom Cooper to create the 80-plus horsepower racer 999, which Barney Oldfield would drive to victory in a race in October 1902. Ford gained the support of an old buddy, Alexander Y. Malcolmson, a coal dealer from Detroit. They formed a partnership called Ford and Malcolmson Limited to produce automobiles. Ford began developing a low-cost automobile, and the duo rented a factory and negotiated with a machine company operated by John and Horace E. Dodge to furnish more than $160,000 in parts. Sales were slow, and a crisis erupted when the Dodge brothers requested payment for their initial cargo. Finally, Henry Ford's transition from a humble farm lad to the iconic figure he is today demonstrates the power of vision, creativity, and unwavering persistence. Ford's rise from humble beginnings to founding the Ford Motor Company and transforming the automobile industry is a captivating story of triumph against the odds. Henry Ford's tale exemplifies the power of individual passion and innovation to shape industries and society. His dedication to making automobiles affordable to the masses, as demonstrated by the launch of the Model T, not only altered the way people traveled, but also created the framework for the present automotive scene. Furthermore, Henry Ford's legacy includes progressive employment policies like the $5 workday, which not only benefited his employees but also helped shape the American middle class. Henry Ford's tale continues to inspire aspiring entrepreneurs and innovators, emphasizing the power of individuals to effect substantial change via a combination of vision, hard work, and dedication. Henry Ford's life as a humble farm child turned industrial billionaire shows the transformational potential of pursuing one's aspirations with determination and a desire to make a positive difference in the world. We appreciate you watching this video. We sincerely hope you found it educational and useful. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. In order to ensure that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell button.